My wedding veil contained proof that my fiancé was secretly married to someone else. All I ever wanted for my wedding was a long cathedral veil. Not the flashy kind, just something delicate that made me feel like I was stepping into a storybook. When I finally found one embroidered with tiny pearls along the edges, I cried in the bridal shop because I could finally picture the future I had always imagined. My relationship with Daniel had endured storms. I'd stood by him while his startup collapsed, moved across 3 states so he could chase new opportunities, and nursed him through a motorcycle accident that left him bedridden for months when he proposed on a quiet hike at sunrise. It felt like every hardship had been leading to that one perfect moment. The morning of our wedding, the veil arrived freshly steamed, folded carefully in its protective box. While my bridesmaids fussed over their makeup, I sat alone in the suite, savoring the stillness. Almost absent-mindedly, I lifted the veil to admire the tiny stitching along the lace. Something hard and flat slid out from between the folds and landed in my lap. At first, I thought it was a pressed flower or a sweet hidden note from Daniel, like when he used to tuck little messages into my lunch bag. My heart actually leapt at the thought of another romantic surprise, but it wasn't a flower. It was a photocopy of a marriage certificate. Daniel's name was right there, bold in black ink, listed as the husband of a woman I had never heard of. The date was less than 2 years old. Scrawled across the back in hurried handwriting were the words, "You deserve the truth before it's too late. He's still my husband." No signature, no explanation, just a stranger's desperate attempt to stop me from making the worst mistake of my life. I felt the blood drain from my body. Every business trip that had seemed oddly timed, every call he'd taken in another room, every excuse for why he didn't want to do joint taxes until after we were married. It all clicked into place with sickening clarity. He wasn't just hiding doubts, he was hiding another marriage. I didn't scream. I didn't faint. I simply sat there, clutching the lace and suffocating on the weight of betrayal. Whoever she was, she had known I was walking down the aisle today, and she couldn't let me step into vows built on a lie. Her guilt had become my escape. I slid the certificate back into the veil, folded it neatly into its box, and walked out of the hotel wearing the sneakers I had planned for the reception. The veil I thought would complete my dream look had instead uncovered the nightmare I was about to bind myself to. Hours later, Daniel texted asking where I was, probably fielding questions from guests about his missing bride. I replied simply, "Check the veil." His messages poured in afterward, begging me to listen, to understand, to let him explain. But not once did he deny it. Not once did he say the document was fake. His silence on that truth was all the confirmation I needed. I never answered again. Some betrayals are too total for explanations to matter. The woman who slipped that paper into my veil saved me from a lifetime of deception. And the veil, I thought would make me feel like a bride, gave me something more important, the clarity to walk away. Sometimes what you think will complete your fairy tale ends up setting you free instead.